Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing great. Happy Monday and the first day of June. I'm so happy to be back home. I did not get the opportunity to post some more things from our weekend, but I will try to get at least one shared tonight. So, kind of scoot things over a little bit so we can play. But first, there, oh, Stampin' Up! Offers an ordering incentive. If you order $75 or more, you can add the monthly, it's called the product of the month. Let me show you what it looks like this month. It's so cute. So patient one moment. That's not it. See if I can make it bigger. Right back over here. Share the screen. See how I so so $75. You can add that. It's not showing. You can add that to your cart. And when I see that you pulled $75, you can pick a lot of. There's still some big in here. And I'm gonna go until I have run out of envelopes. So if you order $75 or more, you for sure get one of the envelopes. And if you want this cute little stamp set, then you can add that to your cart for $5. And that's before any tax or shipping. So I can't wait for that and play. All right, let me stop that share. So that's three things with one order. So, and then it helps. You know, make chair. Sweaty. But can you this little stuff? Okay. So let me share the down facing camera and we'll get right on it. All right, buttons, Brenda. Thank you everyone for watching tonight. I can't see who did, who does not. Let me pop that over there. Hey, hey, Jamie, your sound is coming in and out. Let me see if I can fix that. Let me know if that makes it better or worse. I've got to figure out what's going on with this. All right, so just a short little recap while I'm digging out the blends that we're going to use. Isn't this bag cute? That came on stage. I know we're going to use Peaceful Pine. We're going to use Golden Glow. And we're going to use, what other color did I use? Oh, Barely Blush. And if it needs it, a little touch of Not Those. There's Cantaloupe. All right, you guys can hide back in there till I get time to put you away. We're going to play with Sweet Old Bears, mostly the Designer Series paper and some dies. I love those dies. So if you need help getting your $75 order, here you go. There's 2 bundles, there's paper. So cute, so cute. All right, so for our first one, you see him over here in the corner. Let's put, do you want to see what we're making first? We're going to do that. Such a sweet, simple little card. And let's stand him up out of the way. Goodness, my desk. When you go away and you come back, you just kind of feel discombobulated a little bit. This is Hydrangea Hue, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And my bone folder is MIA. I know where it is. If I can find the comparison. Here we have it. And then we're just simply going to layer these guys. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. This is also 4 by 5 1/4. This very vanilla piece is going to go on the inside. Better. Good. Thank you, Jeannie. Appreciate you so much. Also, for those of you who placed orders in May, I am going to post a little picture and do a little contesty thing to see if you can figure out where the thank you cards for May are mailed from. They are already in the mail. Isn't that cool? Isn't Brenda right on the ball this month? This piece is 3 3/4 by 5. Yeah, I know it's hard to cover up these cute little characters, but I did. And it goes on this piece of Golden Glow. And then this is our card front. Try to make common borders, and then you know it's going to be equal over there. Okay, and then this was a piece of Designer Series paper that I used one of the dies and just cut out both of those pieces. So let's put him on there, and then we'll put dimensionals on the back of that. And my board is rocking. It's knocking. That's why I don't like it. Let's add a piece of cardstock. My trip was amazing. Had a great time. Spend it with 3 wonderful friends. I had my first Dole Whip. I had this, what did they call it? I had vanilla and pineapple both out of the same thingy. Twist, I guess. Finding some dimensionals. Um, rode the monorail several times because we were at the Contemporary. So in order to get Dole Whip, you had to go over to the Polynesian. I mean, you just had to. Um, yes, I know this is a lot of dimensionals, but I don't want any saggy. There and one there. There we go. So it was fun. It's just easier to drop these things in there as you take them off without twisting and hurting your back. And hopefully more of them will land in there than they will on your project. And somebody shared a trick that just because you put all of those on there, you don't have to take all of the backs off. You just got to take enough off to make it stick. All right, so there is our first card. We're going to stamp the center when I get to the stamping part. All right, next one. Oh, and we're at the stamping part, so let me find those stamps. We are going to use this little honey pot for sure. And we're gonna stamp this guy on the next one. So we may as well get him out while we're getting. And we're gonna stamp sentiment. So while we are putting these on blocks and finding our ink, let's do that. The ink rode in a bag because I didn't want to take the chance of it leaking. So I just got home last night. I haven't had time to put everything away yet. Plop. Put you my brown circle. Block. And you are too small. All right. Next card. Oh, something was wet. I don't know. So this one uses Golden Glow. Very vanilla. That's at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. 4 by 5.25. Our little pieces and a piece of very vanilla scrap. All right, so let's start putting things together before we stamp a little bit so that I don't lose any of my pieces because after the way the day has gone, I could lose my head if it weren't attached. I love how these fit and layer in these frames. This again was a piece of the paper that I just cut out. I'm going to save that for a second. Fold this to give me more space on my desk. Lay him there, there. Let's stamp. All right. I labeled my ink pads while I was gone. They have labels on the back. So I put one there and one on the bottom here. So when they're stacked up, I can see what's what. All right, I'm going to put a little honey pot right here. And I'm going to get the card we just finished and put a honey pot in there too. All right, so those two are ready. Now let's put honey pots on this one. Create your own VSP. It doesn't have to be perfect. Make them random. Make them go off the desk or off the piece of paper a little bit. You can make some that it's going to be behind this thing, so it's going to be fine. But you want them to kind of go off the paper a little bit so that it doesn't look like it's, I don't know what the word for that, give confined. Let's turn you this way. Another one there. When you feel like you're looking for a spot to put one, you've probably got too many, but we do need one here. All right, and let's grab a chamois. Aren't you proud I didn't have to walk to the other desk to get one? Let's clean that off a little bit. Air dry. Bring in our little sliver of Very Vanilla. It's a 1/2 inch, just FYI. When you're cutting your Very Vanilla cardstock, you're going to wind up with a 1/2 inch sliver. I'm going to go down a little tad. Oh, that's so crooked. Our paper is magic. It has 2 sides. Let's see if this is better. I did start early, Carol. I have another gig after this. So Monday nights, I'm going to be starting at 7 o'clock from now on, or as close to 7 as possible. All right, so we're going to go like that. And then we're going to take this little piece and put it over here and hold it between our finger and our thumb. Twist it around, and you can lay your scissors up against that or your snips and get the same angle. See? Isn't that cool? Look at the one that's straight, this one. And put the lid on our ink pad so that we don't put our hands in it. This gets dimensionals. On one side. Right, let's put the rest of it together before we get too carried away. This goes on the inside. Adhesive. There are so many cute cards you can make with this set. And I just felt like Golden Glow and Pooh Bear are perfect for each other. I know this is tone on tone, but it's love monochromatic. And then this goes on dimensionals. I know some of you would say, Brenda, just go ahead and get the whole foam sheet. But I'm going to say, I know where I can get more. Yes, from now on, it's going to be as close to 7 o'clock as I can get. That way I can go to my other meeting, and I can also try to get things done and go to bed earlier on Monday nights. Please don't hold me to that. I am a bit of a night owl, and that's the way that cookie crumbles. Thank you, Dad. All right, see, that's why we only wanted a dimensional on one side because it's going to overlap. So let's put a little smear of adhesive right there. That off. Isn't that cute? And we need some pretties. Hang on. Those are here. Oh, and I do want to show you these when I get done with the cards. These little guys are all of the in colors: Barely Blush, Golden Glow, Crisp Cantaloupe, Hydrangea Hue, and Peaceful Pine. Are you proud that I can remember all those colors at one time? And they just came out. All right. Let's play with some of these. I'm going to put one here and one here. Doesn't want to play. You're going to stick to the cord. There you go. And then let's put a big one over here. All right, that's that for that one. So we've got the inside honey pot, outside, no sentiment. It can be whatever you want it to be. Honey pot. Next. This one is a little bit more involved, but it's so cute too. I love this sweet Miss Nancy. Had a hard time remembering Golden Glow. Yep. It looks, I don't know, to me it's more of a tan color, but we'll say it's Golden Glow because that's what they called it. All right, this is pecan pie, 5.5, 8.5, scored at 4.25. I just start with that basically so I can get a little bit more of my desk space back. We're going to stamp on that one. We're going to go ahead and put these two together because we're going to stamp on that one too. I was going to use this side while I was away, but realized I didn't have any Mossy Meadow cardstock with me. So early espresso it was. And it matches this side. When you are traveling and trying to pack craft supplies, and you know that your suitcase is limited to 50 pounds, cardstock weighs a lot, just telling you. Designer series paper adds to that too. And I just ran out of. We'll take time to refill. You guys have watched plenty of videos where I have refilled that, so make sure it's right side up because there's a little poo in the tree. A poo bear, not poo poo. That might be a trivia question on one of my posts. What's in the tree that's not icky? All right, we're going to stamp our honey pot in Golden Glow. If you are just coming in on that and you hear she's got poo in the tree, you're thinking, what on earth is she talking about? Yep. A poo bear. This goes on our inside. I'm trying to learn not to have any naked insides. You know how hard that is sometimes. I write in there. It's not naked when it gets given away. All right, let me grab my basic black. This is a faux black ink pad, courtesy of my friend Melissa Winko. This was a white craft ink pad. When you order it as a white craft ink pad, it comes uninked. So I just sat the bottle of white ink refill to the side, grabbed my memento, and here we go. I have since learned that there is such a thing called Versa Fine ink that's black. That's the stamp or block that's got some water on it. Now it's got me looking up to see if something leaked. Right. I know that you're saying, "Oh, she didn't clean that," but it's going on black. That golden glow is not going to hurt the black. Now, I wouldn't make it a huge habit of doing that, but it's not going to hurt it. Okay, let's color. So Pooh gets to be golden glow because it just works. If I'm not in a hurry, I use the bullet tip, and I start with the dark shade of the blend, and I do all of these wonderful little pieces that Stampin' Up! Has already given us where the shading should be. Just add a little bit there. I'm going to do his arms. And that's it for the dark golden glow. Let's go for the light. Being very careful to stay inside the lines. And yes, I'm going over those places that I've already colored with the dark. It just makes it a tad bit darker, which is perfectly fine, perfectly perfect. Again, staying inside those lines because I do not want it to bleed out. All right, and that makes his little back be a little bit lighter. All right, now for Mr. Piglet. Oh, I'm grabbing the, let's just color Piglet's body. Dark Barely Blush. So it can show up, so you can see it. And I'm using that kind of like a paintbrush, not pressing on it at all. Otherwise, you will mess up the tip of your blend. Grabbing the light Barely Blush, the brush tip, and they're going to get a little bit of space. So it looks like they've got some ground to walk on, not walking on air. And a little bit of grass. Let's see. Here's one. Add your own grass in there. All right, let's color Piglet's clothing. Because it's got all those little lines in there, I think the light Peaceful Pine is going to be perfect for this. And you won't have to color multiples. All right. Isn't that cute? You probably can't see. Oh yeah, you just gotta just barely touch it. It will pull the paper from the blend, or it'll pull the ink from the blend onto your paper. If you're pressing it so hard that it squeaks, you are definitely messing up the tip of your marker or blend. Stick this on here. Let's grab, I think I'm going to put this one just flat. want to cover up that poo. He's so cute. He is going to have to be covered a little bit. And now our in color dots. And let's go with a big one. Space right here. And that little one doesn't want to go on the project, but guess what? You're going. Thank you. I always do it in threes to make it be a little triangle. All right, there are the projects from tonight. I always do this to myself, wind up with two one direction and one the other way, whether it's vertical or horizontal. How do you like them? Shall I move some of this other stuff? There's water on the desk. That's where it's coming from. It's like, what was that? All right, paper towel, napkin, where are you? Glad it was all the way over there. All right. How do you like it? Piglet and Pooh are so cute. I think so too. And then I didn't want them floating on air. It's hard to see, but let me hold it up closer and see if you can see the barely blush under there. It just gave it a little bit of a shadow. All right, now let me show you some cards that I made from a project that my friend Chris and her friend Chrissy created. And I got to finish them while I was away. They are little note cards. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I've got some friends watching. We've got a cute puppy dog there, Miss Laurie. All right, here's the first bunch. These are with ephemera and note cards and envelopes. Trying to keep them in the picture. Obviously, I got plenty of space over here. Five. Here's 5 more. They offered a class and I decided to do it. Speaking of offering classes, I am getting ready to do one with my friend Chris, the same Chris that helped design this, and another friend, Chris Brower, that we're doing one Friday night. What is on? Oh, adhesive. That's why it's stuck in the bag. I'll finish cleaning that off in a little bit. Aren't those cards cute too? All right. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a grand night. Do something fun for yourself this week. And if that includes placing an order of $75 or more, I would really appreciate it. And who knows, I maybe send you some cute cards with your drawing. I will be in touch with you to let you draw an envelope. And if you want that stamp set, order it now. Time's a wasting. All right, have a good night and do something fun for yourself this week, whether it's ordering, if it's making a card, if it's sending a card for someone to brighten their day, do it. I dropped 30 cards in the mail just recently. So I hope those people really appreciate it. I love sending happy mail. So if you're on my list, you can look for a card. Have a great night and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.